Hi, I'm Sandra Wilson. I am a clinical hypnotherapist who specialises in working with people, adults and children with misophonia or extreme sound sensitivity. So in today's video, which is part of my little series for parents, is Misophonia at School, how to help your child cope. So if your child is really struggling with misophonia or extreme sound sensitivity, school can be one of the most challenging environments. So being in a classroom, being in an exam situation, in an exam hall, eating areas or social situations, and all these can involve sounds that just feel very overwhelming to your child, and it might put them off going to school at all. And as a parent, it can be hard to know how best to support them. So in this video, I'm going to share some gentle, practical ways that you can support your child and help them to cope without making it into a great big deal. So first of all, understanding why school is often so difficult. So school environments are often noisy, they are unpredictable and difficult to escape from because they have no choice a lot of the time. And for a child with misophonia, that combination can feel so intense, and they may be trying to concentrate on their work, obviously, while their nervous system is strongly reacting to the sounds around them. And this can affect their focus, their emotional well-being, emotional regulation, and of course their confidence. And number two, communication with the school staff. So one of the most helpful steps is to communicate with your child's school. And again, it doesn't need to be complicated. So you might explain that your child has a strong sensitivity to certain sounds, which can trigger a stress response, and it can affect their concentration and their emotional well-being and their confidence. So you're not asking for special treatment. You're just asking the school to understand a little more, especially if they aren't aware of what misophonia is. And of course, you can always direct them to the resources. I have a website, which I'm going to link below in this video, and there are plenty more educational, research-based websites as well that you could direct your child's teacher to help educate them. And number three, consider simple, practical adjustments. Sometimes small adjustments can make a big difference. So for example, asking if it's okay for your child to be seated away from common trigger points, maybe allowing discreet use of earplugs or headphones, access to a quiet space where, if they do feel overwhelmed, and flexibility around eating environments. And these are often manageable when schools understand the situation, and it is so important, understanding. And number four, support your child with coping strategies. So your child may benefit from having some simple tools that they can use independently. So for example, grounding through breath and body awareness. You can get plenty of breath work videos on YouTube. Focusing on a neutral sensory anchor. So it might be something like an item of jewellery or a fidget toy or something like that. And having a plan for stepping out if needed. So if the teachers know in advance that your child may need to put their hand up to ask to pop out to use the toilet or something, that needs to be agreed beforehand. So the goal isn't to force tolerance, it's to help them to feel more in control and that there are options available to them. And of course, number five is acknowledge the emotional impact. Many children with misophonia feel embarrassed, they feel different, they feel like, weird, and they may really worry about how others see them, and it's so common, of course. So just let your child know that their reactions are not their fault and they are not alone, and it's okay for them to need to have some support or some adjustments. So reducing the shame is just as important as managing the sounds. And, it is so important that you yourself as a parent try not to make your child feel that they are in any way different or just being a nuisance. School can be a very, very challenging environment for a child with misophonia. And, with understanding, with communication, with small adjustments, it can certainly become more manageable. It's not perfect, but it's easier and far less overwhelming. And if you would like more support around misophonia and sound sensitivity, you're very welcome to explore the resources that I have linked in this video description. And I hope you found that helpful. Do let me know. I'll be back with another video in another day this week. Bye. Hi, I'm Sandra Wilson. I am a clinical hypnotherapist who specialises in working with people, adults and children with misophonia or extreme sound sensitivity. So in today's video, which is part of my little series for parents, is Misophonia at School, how to help your child cope. So if your child is really struggling with misophonia or extreme sound sensitivity, school can be one of the most challenging environments, of course. So being in a classroom, being in an exam situation, being in a